Gaumont Palace Cinema in Salisbury is a building steeped in history. The front of the site is a Grade 1 listed building dating back from the 15th century, with the mock Tudor theatre being added in the early 1930s. Since then, the main theatre space has been split to accommodate additional screens, and the building still operates as a multi-screen cinema today.
We're at the Gaumont Palace. It's a new venue, they've never had it investigated, we're the first lot. It's an amazing place, there's loads of history here, so yeah, it's been really exciting.
We were fascinated by Gaumont Palace. It was a very interesting looking building from the outside. It's situated in between other buildings, and until you stand in front of it, it's almost invisible. You wouldn't know it was there. It was intriguing when you walked in. The enormity of the architecture from the front is stunning. The originality is there, the history is there. Gaining access to it wasn't easy. Preparation for it was a process. We've had to go through a lot of red tape. We knew that it would be popular. People don't investigate here. That's why we were interested in it.
Over the course of 2 nights, the Strange Nights team took members of the public on an overnight investigation. After a briefing and running through various pieces of equipment, it was time to explore the building.
On the very first vigil, we experienced the door in the staff room, which is just below the projector for Screen 1. The door was opening and closing and squeaking on its own.
It's actually moving. Look, it's opening.
The door handle's moving.
It is opening.
Ooh!
See? It's very cold there.
Right, that's a good start.
And there was a knock on the door. None of you were near it. When that light goes, oh come on, who's that? Are you sure? Is there someone out there?
Obviously, we were trying to debunk it. We went outside, there was no breeze. The doors that were in there were locked from the outside, so nobody could have been out there to escape. So we were able to put that down as unexplainable at that time. The interesting thing was on our second visit, we didn't get any door activity. The weather is exactly the same as it was before. Nothing has changed. And yet no door action at all this time, so which makes the first time that a little bit more evidential and believable for us to have been a paranormal experience.
Throughout the night, the team held several vigils around the building, investigating both public spaces and areas usually off limits to anyone but theatre staff. Guests were invited to use a variety of techniques to communicate with potential spirits, including glasswork, table tipping, Ouija boards, and human pendulum. Results were mixed, but some common names and themes did come up over the course of the night.
We've communicated with a variety of named spirits. We've had names Peter, we've had Jeff, Christiana. They seem to really communicate, they get involved with us. We've had lots of cat ball activity, we've had lots of voices, the voice recordings.
Is there a lady here? Are you playing with us?
We were in Screen 1, usually the quietest vigil, and there was a cat ball placed on one of the cinema chairs. A couple sat down there. When they sat down, they triggered the ball. They knew that had happened. They explained, you know, we've just sat down, we've triggered it. While they were sat there very still, very aware of not moving it again, a few minutes later the cat ball triggered again. So we took the SLS camera to that area, and immediately it picked up, the SLS picked up the stick figure sitting in that chair. There's someone there, right next to you.
Oh my God.
See it? You. We asked it to wave and its arm went up.
Oh my God! It just did that.
He actually just waved. And the arm on the other side was actually round the lady in the chair next to her, which was creepy for her, but very interesting for us. So the SLS doesn't always work for us. There are a lot of episodes that have come up on there that are very much debunkable, where it's picked up obvious pieces of furniture and bits and pieces. However, it wasn't mapping the people in the chairs, it was only mapping the empty chair. So we thought that was very intriguing.
But the SLS wasn't the only camera to pick up something strange. We set up locked-off cameras during some vigils to give us an overview of the room while conducting investigations. One of the last vigils of the night was held below the old theatre stage in an area known to be active, as Naomi, the cinema manager, explains.
So this is an original light fitting from the 30s. It was leaking water about 7 or 8 years ago, and we put a bucket there and we isolated the water. There was no idea what was coming through there, but it was. And we came back to change the bucket and it had moved full of water to where Tom had just set up that hole. You can hear footsteps running around down here when you're on your own. Yeah, some days I just cannot even go through that door because it just freaks me out.
The team decided to conduct a Ouija board session in the space, hoping to hear from whatever had given the corridor its reputation. The board didn't give much in the way of feedback, and any answers were inconclusive. But something was going on down the corridor. Keep your eye on the illuminated doorway. It may only be small movement, but there was no one in the room at the time. It has only one entrance, and perhaps most importantly, it contained nothing to cast that shadow. Nothing hanging from the ceiling, and nothing next to the door. The Gaumont Palace was a fascinating site to investigate, with almost a century of entertainment history, sharing walls with a medieval hall over 500 years old.
If you believe in the stone tape theory, there is a lot of memories in these walls. There's a lot of activity because of those memories in the walls. And although we haven't been able to communicate with every possible spirit here, there has been physical evidence of paranormal activity in this building.